Welcome back to the channel, you curd nerds. I have a lot of students constantly asking me, Cheese Pilot, how do you talk on the radio? How do you know what to say? How do you practice? It seems like there's always so much skin in the game. There's always so much stress around talking on the radios. How do I get better without being nervous about being in the airplane and screwing it up? Now, I can give a couple little tips and tricks in the airplane to kind of show the student that it's not really that big of a deal. And if that doesn't work, I recommend VATSIM. Now, what is VATSIM? VATSIM is, well, it's a simulator for communicating on the radio. That's really the best way to put it. It links up with Microsoft Flight Sim so that you can still operate an aircraft with no skin in the game, with, you know, things like desktop pilot controls and whatnot, and talk on the radio with somebody. So people have always asked me, how the hell do you set up VATSIM? Well, it's actually pretty complicated, and that's really what this video is all about. Let's set up VATSIM. First off, you're gonna go to my.vatsim.net. I'll make sure to put all the links down below. You're gonna hit register, and it's pretty straightforward, right? You must use your full and correct name. If you're unwilling to do this, you may not register for VATSIM. You may not hold more than one account. Please make sure that the email is provided, blah, 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 blah. It can take up to 24 hours for, you know, you to actually get your login information, right? You also need to be at least 13. Keep that in mind. Nobody under 13. It's pretty straightforward. First name, last name, email address, age, where you're from, select a division, what have you, and obviously accept the code of regulations, code of conduct, and user agreement. Once you do all that, you're going to go ahead and log in. After they send you your login credentials, as they did say, it could take up to 24 hours. So I'm all logged in right now. What you can do is you can come over here to flight planning, and this is where you would actually file a flight plan, whether it be IFR or VFR. You're going to put in the type of aircraft. So, I mean, we can put in like Cessna 172. Wake category is obviously going to be light. Let's say we are Cheese 1. It's going to be a VFR flight. We'll go slant Gulf. Transponder is going to be C. Departure, let's depart from Green Bay. I don't know, at 1400 Zulu. Our cruising altitude is 7,500 feet with a true airspeed of 105 knots. And we're going to go to K Pi. That's down in Florida. It's way too far. We're not going to have an alternate. Let's say it's going to take us 10 hours to get there. Fuel endurance is 5 hours. And this is going to be our route details. Like, we're going to go to the Badger VOR, then the O'Hare VOR, then blah, 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 blah. And that's how you file a flight plan. I prefer to use SimBrief, which is going to generate me a flight plan. So again, you know, airline is going to be Cheese. Flight number is going to be 1. We're going to be departing from Green Bay. We're going to, I don't know, Milwaukee might be a better one. Aircraft, select our aircraft type. We'll go Cessna 172. There it is. It's given, and it's generated us a little flight plan. See, it's pretty straightforward. And what you're going to do now, right? What you're going to do now, you can analyze your route and all that jazz. Not really necessary. You're going to hit generate flight. Okay. Then it's going to build you a map. It's going to build you a briefing. It's going to build you all the important information pertaining to a flight. Okay. Now, how do I get this over to VATSIM? You're going to come to here and click prefile on network, and you're going to prefile on VATSIM. And look, all of that information is in there. All you have to do is change it from IFR to VFR, and you are on your way. Now, SimBrief, for it to be completely accurate with the charts and everything to modern day, you do need a paid Navigraph account. You can use Navigraph for free. It just won't be current. It won't be current sources. It won't be current charts. It won't be current approach plates. So just keep that in mind. You can use it. It just might not be up to date. Now, what do I do with all of this? I've now filed a flight. I've now gotten a briefing. I've filed a flight plan on VATSIM. Do make sure that you actually hit file. All right. And you're going to need to keep the route details as well, because you're going to use that later. Now you're going to need to download a few things. You're going to download VATSPY. Again, I'll make sure all the links are down below. Hit this download link. Hit this. Windows is going to be pissed off about it. All right. Windows is probably going to be pissed off about some of these things. So just keep anyway is what you're going to use. I've already got all this stuff installed, so I don't need to install it. You're also going to come over here to vPilot. And this is the application that's actually going to be used to talk. And we'll talk about how to set that up in a second. VATSPY just shows you where you are on the map, shows you what controllers are on. Really, if I'm going to be honest, you don't really need VATSPY. I like it. But as we've downloaded these things, let's install them, and we'll be right back once it's all installed. So this is vPilot. Once you get it all set up, this is what it looks like. It looks like the wrong thing. It's not the wrong thing. I know it looks a little dated, but how do we use this? Let's make it a little bit bigger so that y'all can see it a little easier. All right. You're going to come up here to settings. This is really where you want to start. You remember that VATSIM ID? You're going to put that right there. Okay. That little VATSIM ID that we got from earlier when we set everything up. You're going to put that right in there. Your password, your full name, your home airport, and whatever server. Notifications. This one's pretty straightforward. What do you want your notifications to look like? Fonts. I don't think I really need to talk about what fonts are. Maybe I can make these a little bigger so that y'all can see them a little better. Audio. What audio channels do you want this to go to? What do you want your microphone to be? What do you want your output device to be? Mine's a little complicated because I've got this. I've got, this. I've got the Rodecaster Duo. For you, it's probably going to be Xbox microphone and Xbox, headset, or whatever you happen to use for a microphone or headset for your computer, unless you've got, somewhat of a complicated setup. All right. You can disable realistic ATC audio effects. You can disable HF background noise. I like to leave them on. Helps with the realism. All right. Then you're going to come over here to push to talk. All right. What this is what button are you going to press to actually talk on the radio? What button is going to activate vPilot? Okay. I've got it set up as button 1 on my Alpha flight controls, which is just, the Honeycomb Alpha. I've got it set up so that it's exactly as it is on the airplane. You pull the little button right there, or the little button right on the top of the yoke, and that is your push to talk button. Model matching, I wouldn't do anything in this. It's really just making sure that vPilot knows the aircraft that you're flying. I wouldn't do anything in there. Performance. Do not display aircraft beyond 40 nautical miles. Maximum aircraft display. Again, not really an important thing for you. Just make sure it's always up to date. You can come to the beta one. I've never used any of their beta ones. Miscellaneous. Automatically squawk mode C on takeoff. That is keep that engaged. All right. Because it helps the controller see you on VATSPY when you are out flying around, and if you just forget to squawk mode C, they can't see you. So just keep that on so that it does it. Right? You can click keep window always visible. I don't keep it always visible because I'm using the push to talk features. I'm actually talking on the radio. It does have text features as well if you are uncomfortable talking on the radio. But again, the whole reason we're using VATSIM is to talk on the radio. So just talk on the radio. All right. The other program that we downloaded was VATSPY. Now, what VATSPY is it's the map for VATSIM. It shows you where you are and what controllers are on. It's a little weird to navigate it. You actually right click to move around. As you can see, this controller is on, this controller is on, this controller is on. It's a little dead right now. I don't really know why. It's a little dead. It's probably because it's all volunteers, right? Here's all the controllers that are on. These are all the current flights that are going. You know, you've got country details, ARTCC details, airport details, filtered details, network servers, blah, blah, blah. You don't really need to do anything in here. It just shows you where you are in relation to the controllers that are on. So if I wanted to start a VATSIM flight today, I would probably go from like, I don't know, LAX to Las Vegas, because I know I'm always going to be in a controlled area during that entire flight. So it's going to keep it as real as possible. Okay. Now, what do I do? Now that I've gotten all this set up, now that I've gotten all this stuff downloaded and installed, how do I use it? Well, let's get into Microsoft Flight Sim and I'll show you. All right, so we are all booted up into Microsoft Flight Sim. Right up at the top, you see that we've got vPilot all loaded as well. What you want to do when you go to file your flight plan, right? Make sure if it says Cheese 1, as it says right up at the top of mine, right? Make sure it matches. Obviously, choose your own call sign. Don't be flying around as Cheese 1. You know, maybe Cheese 2, Cheese 3, Cheese 4, but Cheese 1, that's me. Back off my fucking call sign. All right? But how do we use this? Now, what everyone's used to is obviously a bottom-up approach to air traffic control. VATSIM and vPilot, it's a top-down. So what that means is, as you can tell, there is no clearance, ramp, ground, or tower on. But there is an approach controller, right? So what approach controller is doing is he is controlling tower, ground, ramp, and clearance delivery. He's a busy guy right now. And remember, all of these controllers are volunteers. So keep that in mind when you are using vPilot and VATSIM and all these things to try and, you know, help learn how to talk on the radio. So what I ended up doing was I filed IFR from LAX to Burbank. It's a pretty short flight. It's like 20 minutes, but it's currently IFR weather and they use real-time weather. So I had to file IFR. So let's hop into Microsoft Flight Sim and actually do this. All right. So what I'm going to do is I already got the ATIS. If you really want it, you can double click your local ATIS and it will just give it to you in text, or you can put in the frequency, which would be 133.8. I don't really feel like listening to the ATIS, but we could see LAX ATIS information Charlie, wind 1003, 9, few at 1600, overcast 2100. Temperature 15, dew point 10, altimeter 2998. And they're using 25 left, parallel approaches in progress between LAS and Hawthorne airports, simultaneous instrument departures, progress, runway, blah, 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 blah. All right, not a big deal. I've got information, Charlie. Let's go ahead and talk to our controller. SoCal departures, Cheese 1, filed IFR to Burbank.
Cheese 1. Cheese 1. Okay, Cheese 1, clear to Burbank Airport. Radar vector Silex, maintain 4000, squawk 5304.
Radar vector Silex, up to 4000. Can you say the squawk again for Cheese 1?
Cheese 1, squawk 5304.
All right, so as you can tell, it's pretty simple.
JetBlue 2535 left on hotel, cross runway 25 right.
I just talked to them.
Taxi to parking district.
But let's continue on. And SoCal departure, Cheese 1, ready for taxi.
Cheese 1, runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo.
Taxi via Bravo, runway 25 right for Cheese 1.
Delta
So
2131, runway 24 right, line up
zoom in.
Lining up to 4 right. Delta
It looks like it's going to be a left turn out
Delta
down to runway
320,
24.
welcome to Los Angeles. Good job
So
for your first
let's-
flight on VATSIM. Congratulations. Come back soon. Cross runway 24 left, and then you can taxi to the ramp of
we're
your
gonna
choice.
taxi down.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So as you can tell, they're super friendly here. That person just had their first
Good morning, November 6,
VATSIM
7, 8,
flight,
9, Tango,
and they
on the
welcomed
ground
them.
in
They were
San
like,
Diego.
hey, you know,
Signature, ready for
congratulations.
taxi,
That's
brother.
awesome.
Thanks for Bravo. Appreciate it.
Maintain 5000, UPS 2565.
And UPS 2564, turn left, heading 150, back to
It's
final
so
approach
busy.
course.
I'm trying to ask for an intersection
150
departure.
for UPS 2564.
In SoCal departure is Cheese 1. I can take an intersection departure as soon as you can give it to me.
You bet. Delta 2131, radar contact, climb via SID. Turn left, heading 220.
So as you can see, you just talked to him.
Request to parking Delta 320.
And as you can see,
Yep, just
I'm not the
continue
only
there on
one
the
here.
left.
There's
a
plenty of
lot
other
parking
people
spaces
talking.
there. It's all yours.
There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot going on. So as you can see, this is a great tool for student pilots that are nervous on the radio. He's going to send me all the way down to the end. I do not need a super long runway.
November 141, runway 27, good takeoff. Runway 27, clear for takeoff, number 141. Station Jetty Tango, runway 27, line up and base. Runway 27, wait for another.
I guess it's probably just an accurate. Yeah, no, we'll just do this. People are probably looking at me like, what the hell is this little Cessna taxiing around at LAX for?
Bishop Earth to 458, and connect you. Right.
SoCal United 1260, we got information Charlie, we're ready for taxi.
United 1260, Roger, thanks for Charlie. Runway 26 right, taxi via Charlie 6 Bravo, follow the Cessna.
Probably mean
He's talking to me. He's talking about me.
Sorry, yes, 25 right, excuse me, Vegas on my brain there.
Roger, 25 right, United 1260.
Cheese 1, you can expect an intersection Bravo 2 departure, advise ready to go.
I'm ready for departure. Cheese 1.
Cheese 1. Fly heading 220, runway 25 right, that Bravo 2, clear for takeoff.
25 right at Bravo 2, heading 225 for Cheese 1.
220, but that's 220. Delta 2131, climb and maintain flight level 230.
See, even I made a mistake. Heading 220. Was it the end of the world?
Southwest
No.
4110, LA Center, 135.55.
Oh, shit. Here's Bravo 2.
135.55, see you later, Tom.
See you, Caleb. Delta 2131,
Flaps are down.
Western direct clipper.
Let's go heading.
The departure.
Left direct clipper, resume navigation 2131.
Alaska
He said
3541, are you?
maintain heading
Can you receive
200
voice?
or 220.
Hey, firm,
So we're going to tune that in.
It is. It quite is. Where are you, actually?
Go
there
full
you're
power, mixtures
22 right,
edge.
taxi via Delta. And then Romeo, cross runway 24 left, LA altimeter 29er, 98.
Taxi via Delta.
All right, airspeed's
then
alive.
Romeo, cross 24 left.
We can
And
go ahead and rotate and start climbing out.
Vision Jet 141,
Positive rate.
radar, contact, climb via
Flaps can come up.
Climb via the SID, November 2514.
UPS 25.
We'll go heading mode.
runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Runway 27, clear for takeoff, 892.
UPS
Altitude,
2564.
heading.
EPS.
They would like to request the VOR DMA approach radar vectors to Catalina.
2 Charlie
All right,
Foxtrot, Roger,
there's
can
3
expect the
miles.
VOR DME.
Go ahead and start running some
to
power out so we
Catalina.
can start getting these flaps in.
Alright, VOR DMA to Catalina. And Frontier Flight 1406.
All right, I can
ready
do
at
flaps 10 below 110.
Frontier Flight 1406, runway 26 right, clear for takeoff.
26 right, clear for takeoff at 2 Flight 1406.
And
Just
we'll
blow
go
up.
flaps 20 at 85, bring some power in. About 15 to 1700 RPM. And I've got my approach lights in sight. See, no need to get like super duper slow, right?
1.3 confirm back left, land runway 25 left.
Sorry, JetBlue 123, you are clear to land runway 25 left.
Southwest left, land JetBlue 123.
For all the 52, radar contact.
Roll 52.
SoCal is Cheese 1. Just verify clear to land runway 8 at Burbank.
Cheese 1, yeah, Cheese 1, yep, the wind is calm, runway 8, clear to land.
Runway 8 clear to land. Cheese 1. See? Simple.
And to Charlie Foxtrot, you can expect the VOR approach from Wrigley, and with the precision trend, with the procedure trend there.
All right, Wrigley, the procedure turn.
All right, autopilot's coming off. Let's go ahead and land this. Getting a little low. There we go. A little bit more power in.
And to Charlie Foxtrot, when able, clear direct Wrigley, cross Wrigley at about 4,000, you're cleared. VOR DME approach, and let me know when you're over the 5.6
last notch
if you want to
flaps.
cancel.
Help me slow down the rest of the way.
If you have the airport side, let me know.
All right, sounds good. Direct Wrigley, cross Wrigley at or above 4,000. Clear direct VOR DME approach to Catalina. Let you know when to cancel.
American 814 passing 2,300. That's it.
And a little bit of round out flare, power idle.
Sorry, I was on the landline there. Who was that? American 814, was it?
American 814 passing 2,500. That's it.
American 814, radar contact, climb in the Columbia Sit.
That's it, American 814.
Check for 122, radar contact, Columbia Sit.
And let's go find a parking spot. I think I'm going to go park next to FedEx.
Air Canada 552, left on Alpha Alpha, cross runway 24 left, taxi to the parking via Echo. Thanks for flying, appreciate it. Alpha Alpha and cross runway 24 left, taxi Echo. Thank you, have a great day. Perfect. YouTube, Rollo 52, your last instruction was heading 250. It's not a big deal now. You're clear direct Paradise, and you can cross Paradise at 6,000. And you're clear to approach.
Direct
Avionics off.
Cross Paradise, 6,000, click save.
And lights are off. Well, let's go ahead, pull our mixture out, shut the engine down, kill everything. So, do I recommend using VATSIM to prepare yourself for flight training? Of course I do. Of course I recommend using VATSIM to prepare yourself for flight training. Do I recommend it? Yes. I always recommend VATSIM. I always recommend preparation. I always recommend trying to do your best. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if something I didn't explain well enough. Let me know. And as always, keep it cheesy.